Famez is depressed. Famez would never be depressed. What's depression? And yet, I wanted to kill myself every single day. I've tried it multiple times. Another thing, right? Since we're on the topic of me growing up, my father loves me to death, and I love my father, and now is when we have the most amazing relationship. But growing up, I was confused as well. I really couldn't see him physically until I was like 10. I couldn't be with him for X amount of hours until I believe I was like 10. Because of court and everything, and I was confused. I was a very fucking confused child. My mom was beating me, but at the same time that she was beating me, it was very lenient. My childhood was very lenient. I could go to any girl's house at 12, 13. I could hang out with anybody till this late. It was just so confusing. And another thing, before I get to this whole like overall topic, when I was 12 years old, a man raped me, and it fucked my head. It fucked me up because I couldn't go home to my mom or my father because my father wasn't around, and I couldn't go home to the mother because my mother was verbally and physically abusive to a young child. And at 12, I was fucking distraught. So at 12 years old, an older man from the neighborhood raped me, and I put it so far in my fucking head, like so far behind me, that I forgot about it. Like I forgot about this trauma, and throughout the time, I've had a lot of deaths in my life. My grandmother, my niece, my grandfather, my cousins, friends. It was so far behind me that I just never really thought about it, and I never really thought about what was happening. And from 12 to 17, everyone saw me as a normal teenager, the popular kid. And I was, but I was masking everything I was going through. I will be such a player. I will be such a player, but it was only because subconsciously I wanted the love that my mother never gave me, and I found it with other women. And I was never satisfied. So I would jump from one to another, to another, to the next, to the next, and it would never stop. I was a fucking player, but I was a player because subconsciously I just wanted love. I wanted to be cared for. I wanted to be held by a woman. And if one didn't satisfy me, I'll go to the next. And that's like a big backstory that no one knows, and I'm glad I'm finally like releasing it and telling it. There's one person in my life that I'll forever be grateful for. Fucking forever. Her name is Vanessa Martinez. I was with her for 2 or 3 years. And she met me at such a crazy time, and I took a lot out on her, like everything I was going through and my depression and wanting to kill myself. She met me at such a crazy time, but she didn't know how much of an angel she was to me. And I still think to this day she doesn't understand how much of an angel she is to me. Like, that girl really saved me. She saved me from taking my life multiple times. And not even like, like physically, she physically saved me. I've had guns pointed to my head, and I was maybe an inch away of just pulling that trigger with a bullet in it while I was screaming and yelling and arguing with her. That was my queen. And I met my queen very young. And I wasn't ready to handle that responsibility of catering to such a woman at a young age. She did everything for me. And that girl really holds and held a very big piece of my life. I'm no longer in love because I don't I don't know who she is as a person anymore, whether it be better or worse. As she doesn't know who I am anymore. I'm a very grown man now. I no longer feel depression. I no longer feel any hatred towards anybody. I feel forgiveness towards everybody. I feel love towards everybody. I am light now. And it took a very long time for me to say that. And, you know, since I have this stage and since I have this time now where people are listening, I just want to tell Vanessa how sorry I am. Because I wasn't the man that I could have been for her. I was going through a lot, but it just wasn't fair for her. I want to apologize to her father as well. And that's that, man. I think this fight situation means nothing to me. I'm fighting for a bigger purpose. November 12th, I'm going to show the world again why I belong here. But I'm a voice for others. And that's why I'll continue to win. Because my purpose is bigger than myself.